All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm Bernard Watts. You're watching Sports Talk with BWatts Entertainment. I just want to take this time out to say thank you to our sponsors tonight. That's at Maris Banks. Hey, if you're looking for a loan, doesn't matter what city or state you're in, or if you need a saving account or a checking account, give them a call 770-775-8300. We got a special guest tonight. That's Jake of DNVR. He's our special guest. A couple of weeks ago, we had his co-partner, RK. Was a good show, and everybody was texting me and say, "Hey, we got to get Jake on." So we reached out to him, and we are here tonight. So once again, sit back and relax. Hey, we're gonna have a good show. We won't hold you here long, I promise. All right, all right. So now, let me bring the guys up, and we're gonna get this show on the road. That's Rob the Man Media and also Coach Dre. This the part I hate. All right, y'all bear with me. Y'all Rod up. Rod didn't come up. I guess y'all. Coach Dre. What's up, Jake?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
I'm doing
What's
good,
up, man?
man.
What's
First of
going
all, we
on?
just like to say special thanks to you. Appreciate you for joining the show. And just in case don't nobody know who you are, we want to give you this opportunity to introduce yourself and let us know what part of DNVR role that you play.
Yeah, man. Jake Schwanitz at DMVR Buffs. This is gonna be my third season now, covering the Colorado Buffaloes. Second with Coach Prime, obviously. I'm the beat reporter and host of DMVR Buffs, co-host, I guess, with RK as well. But yeah, that's what I do.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you that. What's going on, Coach Dre?
Hey, I can't call it, man. I can't call it. I want to appreciate Jake for coming on. That's my guy. We talk every now and then in our little group. And hey, man, I just want to say to know that to anybody that's listening to not think that your words are not being noticed is a downplay because when Jake them said that on the show when people went to hit me, I was just as shocked. Again, that's what I try to do when I wake up every morning. I try to bless somebody. I want to help somebody start their day. And so to know that you guys were listening, hey, that was big. I appreciate it, fellas.
What's
Always,
up,
man.
bro?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Appreciate Jake for pulling up on us, man. It's been a long time coming, but we appreciate you for coming onto the Sunday night show. Having your co-host on and now having you on, it's a different life for you. Now you're not moderating tonight, so should be a fun time, man.
All right, guys. Hey, guys. Hey, today I was looking at Reach the People, and I looked at Uncle Neely, and I looked at the other one show, and I saw where they had their first meeting. Check this out. I'm gonna start with you, Coach Dre. Then I'm gonna go with Jake. Let him get comfortable. Then we'll let Rod clean it up. All right. Check this out. When the coaches came inside the room, it was one coach, Coach Dre, and he said these words to the players that hit home to me when I was a coach. Check this out. The wide receiver coach, Jason Phillips, said, "Everything you do from this day counts. Master the discipline of your craft because that will be the determining factor to take us where we need to be." As a coach, what kind of message were he was trying to send to his players this coming up fall practice?
I mean, what he was trying to tell you is that I think a lot of people get so caught up in the big stuff, in the big picture. And if you lose sight of the small things, the little discipline, the lining up right, making sure you're on sides, making sure that you know exactly where the route's supposed to be ran. If it's supposed to be at, why we running it at a certain depth, and this man is running this at a certain depth, because of the simple fact is everything intertwines with everything. So what he was telling you is, don't always look at the big stuff. Going to take care of itself if you take care of the small stuff. You got to be disciplined in the small stuff, the stuff that don't nobody see, the stuff that don't nobody see. We know what we see on Saturday, the product, and we know what we see on these podcasts and stuff of that nature and videos. But the little things, the things that you do that don't nobody see, you have to master those things, because if you don't master them, it'll come out in public. You understand what I'm saying? So if I don't get it right here when ain't nobody watching, I can get away with it every now and then, but eventually it's going to come out in public. So you have to master the small things when nobody's looking to get to where you're going.
Jake?
I mean, Coach Dre pretty much nailed it. Really talking about discipline, I think that's the big message to the team right now, because you saw last year in many phases, penalties, too many men on the field, just like I hate to bring up, the games where they lost in comeback fashion from the other team, but that's what a lot of that was discipline on a down-to-down basis, just making sure you're doing your job. And I think that's really being drilled home right now, especially as we, work through fall camp, that, we got to tighten up on the details. We got to make sure everything's fine-tuned and ready to go. They had a great start in the spring, but right now is what defines your season.
Good point. Rob, he said, master the discipline of your craft.
I mean, when you look at a legendary coach that Coach Prime has, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Jason Phillip and how key he's going to be to this team. He's going to be a great, phenomenal piece for this wide receiver room, just as well as he was with Coach Prime at Jackson State. A lot of people don't realize he was with Prime before, and it's just the second go round of this. But when I took his statement was keys to details and the small things, because that's what's going to lead to wins. It's not what everybody see. What all the noise that people been talking about, it's time to tune all that out because nothing matters. All the people that matters right now is what's in this room, and we gotta fine tune the small details of what's in this room and make sure that we are hunted on everything that we do moving forward because it's now. We have no days to waste. 25 official practice. And 25 days gonna go fast, so we gotta get it done now. So it's a lot of focus. Love the message from Coach Phillips.
All right. Also, Coach Prime came back and followed up with this. This the message that I was hoping he did last year, but he waited to this year. And when he said this message here, it let me know. It confirmed Coach Prime is going to win this year. He ain't worrying about that daddy ball stuff. He ain't trying to be lawyers to nobody. If you come to play, come to practice, and put in the work, Coach Prime gonna play you. Check this out. Jake, start with you, then Rob, then Coach Dre. Coach Prime said, the time is now. Right now. Expectation. Don't save it. I don't know why you're saving it. If you show me that you don't want this, I'm going to show you I don't want you. Talk to me, Jake. What message he was trying to tell to the players?
He was saying that he ain't playing around. We saw last year, not to name names, but there were certain players who were notorious for not always being accountable and not doing the right things, that not even on the field, you know what I mean, off the field, going to class, stuff like that. So I think that was his message, that this is big time now. Last year this team was on a massive stage, of course, most watched team in college football. But now there's real expectations that are coming with this team. You look at all the senior leaders that we have on this team that are going off to the NFL, hopefully, after this season. It's a last ride for a lot of guys, including Shedeur, Travis, Shiloh, So it's all about, trying to seize the moment. I think it kind of goes back to what Coach Jay Phil was talking about with discipline, too. I think that's just the overarching message, really. This whole coaching staff is going to drill home.
Rob?
When I look at Coach Prime message, this is what I take away from it. If you don't seize the moment right now, and the moment gets too big for you, and you here for just the clicks and views, you're gonna be out of here. We want to come in, we want to put the work in, and there's expectations bigger than just a football team because this impacts the entire university this upcoming season. So, Coach Prime wants to get everything right that he can, and he's going to discipline, and he's going to have a lot of corrective actions this season than you seen last year. Last year was a lot of teaching, a lot of developing going on, a bunch of players coming in. This year, you got more veteran leadership, which is going to play a key with the veteran leadership to help us win on, not just on, but off the field, in the classroom, outside the classroom, because there's still a standard, right? And understanding that we still got to maintain the grades, but get everything done on the football field also. So when I look at what Coach Prime was saying is, if you don't want to be disciplined in the classroom, off the field, and be in the community doing the right thing, then on the field you can't play. So I took it in, two different messages from what Coach Prime said.
Hold on before you go, Coach Dre. Got this super chat I need to get off before it disappear. AJ, he said, I love me some Jake from California. Good job, Jake, for handling with grace. Two big personalities of kneeling and RK. All right.
Thank you, thank you.
Go ahead, Coach Dre.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm gonna give you what you give me. I'm gonna give you what you give me. You show me that this ain't what you want, then I don't know what to tell you because I've given you everything that you want. He told you that Greek George has given me everything I've asked for. Knew this, knew that. I make sure y'all get the best of the best. So if you get out here and show me that this ain't what you want, on and off the football field, I'm going to give you exactly what you're looking for. Because I'm setting you up for life. I ain't just setting you up for football. See, if we can win on this football field, we can win in life. I think a lot of people lose that. And the thing is, I know we gonna be you if we can be successful as this unit, and if we can clean up these little things, we can be successful in life. So when he talks about that, I'm gonna hold everybody accountable, but it just can't be me. If you listen to the strength and conditioning staff, they say it all the time. This has to be a player-driven team. Coaches can say what they want to say, but after a while, sometimes a kid can turn the ear off to a coach. But when my supposedly friend, I tell my players all the time, he ain't your friend if he can't tell you he wrong.
Right.
He ain't your friend if he can't tell you he wrong. So pretty much he's just telling you, I'm gonna give you what I got. I done gave y'all everything that we need to be successful, and I need y'all to go out here and do what you need to do, and that's all you can ask from Coach Prime and his staff. And now it's on these kids and these coaches to go out here and produce like we think they should.
Okay. All right. Good take, fella. Check this out, Jake. What position group will you be looking at during camp, fall camp? Running back group, linebacker, D tackles, O line, quarterback, wide receiver, D backs. What specific position group you gonna be looking at?
I think the biggest one for me is really edge rushers. I'm interested to see, how the young guys like Arden Walker, Tajay McCoy have come along and seeing if they can really crack in that starting fold. Obviously, with the vets, BJ Green and Deion Hayes, we expect them to kind of be the starters at this point. But there's a lot of young talent in that room too. So even guys in the spring game, Jeremiah Brown was making plays, Tristan Maroy was making plays. So I want to see who emerges out of there. And then, of course, the wide receivers, too, just because that's going to be so much action between all those guys.
Right. Right. Rob?
For me, it's the trenches. I want to see pretty much the interior, right? Can we get interior pressure up the middle, and can we make a hole for the running backs to run up the middle? It's very simple, right? Run the ball, stop the run, we win ball games. It's just that simple. So my focus is on the trenches.
Coach Dre?
For me, it's the linebackers. I just want to see what we got at the linebacker spot. I feel good about them. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. I feel like we got depth. But I want to see who gonna separate themselves from the pack. And then secondly, it would be the trenches. It would be the offensive line. But again, I feel comfortable that I think we got 13 offensive linemen that can play. So right now I'm feeling good. I just need to see it in pads and see it on a consistent basis. But the position I'm gonna be watching is the linebackers, just to see who's gonna separate themselves from everybody else from the pack.
Right. I'm looking at the same thing, Coach Dre, the linebacker group. I want to see can Johnny Chainsaw Chain from the HBCU FAMU can compete on this level. I ain't saying I'm looking for him to start. I just want to see can he compete on a higher level than the HBCU conference. Because you got a lot of players are watching this, and it's going to depend. He might not know that eyes is on him, but if he go out there and compete at a high level, boy, it's going to be a lot of players from the HBCU family going to try to come to a Power Force conference. What you think, Rob?
I mean, he's definitely gonna set a headway. I mean, when you look at, we already had Jackson State kids, but now to have somebody from a non-Jackson State school, HBCU, coming up to see you, it's gonna put it on notice that we gonna recruit, we're gonna evaluate kids from all over the place. It don't matter what school you come from, but can you come in and contribute to this team and be a valuable piece? Not only with the five characteristics what Coach Prime looking for, right? Smart, fast, tough, discipline with character. So as long as you can be those things and you can come play a key part, it's definitely a valuable piece. Because it's not just him, it also is going to make a testament to, Coach Rispus. I think a lot of people, sleep on, his network, finding those guys in the state of Florida, finding those guys from, HBCUs that, played against FAMU. So that's going to go a long way. So anytime you can be able to elevate kids from, a HBCU or a P5 to the P4 level and come and contribute, it's huge. No doubt about it.
Jake, when you look at that linebacker group and you look at Trevor Woods, what's your expectation of him this year?
Man, he's gonna, I think, still surprise some people. Honestly, if you ask me right now, I don't know if he starts. But the way that Coach Hart does things, it wouldn't surprise me if he's on the field with Levante Bentley, to start the season again. And to go back to your point about HBCUs and Johnny Chaney and all that, I think there's a great link there with Coach Riz. He
Yeah.
came in from FAMU also, so there's a lot of connections though, and this staff has shown if you're going to ball at any level, they're not going to be afraid to check you out and bring you in too. So the linebacker competition is going to be fierce for sure. But for Trevor, he's a very smart player. He's played a lot of football since he was a freshman at CU. So he's going to get an opportunity to start, I believe. It's just a matter of him, beating out some of those guys that they brought in.
Coach Ray, he agreed. What you think about him?
I mean, I just got to see it on the field, but everything else that I see from that young man tell me he's what you're looking for at the linebacker spot at a Power 5 school. I believe that he will work himself into a starting job. I could be wrong, but I think he will. But like you said, I'm a guy who I'm looking at Chaney just because of the simple fact is, and for anybody that thinks that Silman Craig shows you legitimately what when you say that a kid, because that's people looks at Shedeur and Travis and even Shiloh, because Shiloh came from South Carolina. Oh, those kids were gonna be Power 5 kids anyway, yo. But when you look at Silman Craig, he showed you that hey, I came from Jackson and I came up here to Colorado and I didn't start. I waited my turn, but when you gave me my opportunity, I shine like a light. So I think that Hill Green is a starter. I think he's a wonderful young man. I think he's a leader of men. When you listen to him talk, and I think he gravitates to the team. So that's why I say it's hard pressed. I like Webster because he's a Florida boy, so I like him. But so I just want to see what that linebacker room gonna do, and then you can't never count out JB. JB had a heck of a spring. And he showed what he could do. He looked like the JB from Jackson. So like I said, that's why I'm looking at the linebacker room, because I just want to see who's gonna start and what the rotation might look like.
Okay, good take, fellas. Got a super chat here from LPSD. Can't wait to see Trevor Woods prove a lot of people wrong. High football IQ will win out. Okay, appreciate that super chat, brother. All right, Jake, check this out. Coach Prime said at the Big 12 Media Day, going into camp, Charlie Offerdall will be the starting running back. Will he be able to hold on to this starting running back position?
Man, I don't want to count Charlie out, but you look at Dallin Hayden, August Dave, and Michael Welsh. I kind of think it's hard to believe that one of those three won't be starting over him. But Coach Prime and his relationship with Charlie it runs deep, man.
Deep, man.
And Charlie is a legitimate player too. I mean, again, in 2022 they were awful. He was one of the best players as a true freshman. I mean, he was smaller than he was now, and he was running through Minnesota and other teams like that. So. I'm not going to count him out, but there's some serious talent in that room now, and it's going to be a fierce competition. One of the battles of camp, really.
Coach Dre?
I mean, he hit it on the head. You supposed to honor the man that worked. So he deserves to be in the spot as of now. Like you say, I'll be hard pressed to tell you, or I'll be sitting here not telling you the truth if I think that when we rolled North Dakota State out there that Hayden or August, one of Welch or one of those older guys aren't starting. I do see Charlie getting carries though. But again, that running back room is another room that's loaded with kids that you just can't tell me I know who the starter is. You can say it's Hayden because he came from Ohio State and all of that but Coach Prime is from the Show Me State. He gonna want somebody to show him that they can take the job from Charlie, because one thing is Charlie gonna do everything right. He gonna be on time and he gonna work hard. You might not find nobody out work harder than Charlie Offerdall. So, but I do feel like someone else will be the starter by day one.
Coach, I got to correct you some. Coach Prime ain't from the Show Me State. That's Missouri, but he is, one of them people that you got to show him
Hey,
to put the work
well,
in.
yeah, I understand it's from you. I understand that, but if you don't show him that you can play, he's not gonna play you.
True. I go with that.
Yeah, you gotta show Coach Prime that you can play. I think the message that Coach Prime is sending to the players is, you got to come and earn it. Charlie Alfredo came in the spring and he earned it. He went out, he sat for it, even though he didn't play the spring game. Everything that he did in springtime showed, he should be the starter. It's what I love about it is just it's more competition in that room. You're gonna see the best of Michael Welch. You're gonna see the best of Deion Hayes. You're gonna see the best, can't think of the other running back name off the top of my head right now. But you're gonna see the best of the running back group. Obviously, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You're gonna see the best come out of them. And don't sleep on, one of the Hood brother, Brandon Hood. Don't sleep on him, because if you get him to some open space, it
Right.
can be a home run for six.
Right.
So you definitely got the best thing I love about that running back room is they all complement each other. They all do different things, and you can use them in all different type of ways, whatever you need in the game. So that's what you got to love out of that running back room. It's going to be a fight to the end to see who comes out, but I expect Deion Hayes to come out with the number one spot.
Okay. All right. All right. But I want y'all to know there's a kid named Micah. I know you're a freshman, but
Oh, yeah.
that's who I'm putting my chips on. I think he's gonna come out, Coach Dre.
I mean, if anybody follows me and listen to me, the first thing I said when I saw that kid in a meeting was, you can look at his face and tell that he was here for business. And in that first team meeting in spring, Coach Prime looked right at that kid and said, "Can you lead this room? I don't mind if a freshman lead the room." And I think he took that to heart. I think he really took that to heart. So I'm a Michael Welch fan. Uh, so I wouldn't be surprised at that either, B. But you know what I'm saying? Hayden has the college experience, and the one thing I've seen in the summer is those guys are helping each other. I've never, like, every time they go to the running back room, They're always pushing each other. They want the best for each other. And when you see that kind of stuff from kids, when I know that we're battling for a spot, but I'm still pushing for you to get better as well because I want my brother to be the best he can be. You can't ask for nothing better. And that's what I love about those guys in that running back room right now.
Here's the
Okay.
thing here's the thing that I add. All that matters is who's finishing the game, and I expect Michael West to be the one finishing the game.
All right. So you gonna finish? Okay. All right. All right. So I think he gonna be the day one starter. I'm just gonna wait it out and see. All right. We're ready at almost 30 minutes. I'm gonna pause right now and let everybody know that you're watching Sports Talk with BWatts Entertainment along with RobDaManMedia and Coach Dre. Our special guest is Jake from DNVR. Jake, let us know about this golf tournament y'all got coming up and also about the Nebraska road trip that you got coming up. Share that with us.
Yeah. If you go to thednvr.com/events, I believe that's where you can go to sign up for our golf tournament. Where it's on August 16th, last one of the summer. And then, yeah, if you want to head out with us on a trip to Lincoln, go to truefantravel.com/trips. And you can sign up there. We're going to have a tailgate out there. We're going to have a bunch of Buffs fans. It's going to be a whole convoy. And we have a special plan that we haven't yet announced that we're going to be doing this season too. So we'll be there for that.
Okay, thank you for that information. All right, RobDaManMedia. They gave out some jerseys now. Who will get that number one? That's the most question I be asking. I got a lot of people say Cam Michael gonna get it. Some saying LeJohntay gonna get it. Who gonna get that number one number on their jerseys? We're gonna start with Rob. We'll go around the horn with Coach Dre and Jake.
I think it just makes more sense for LeJohntay to get it. I'm just being real. I just think it just makes sense because you're gonna see LeJohntay all over the field. Whether he's lined up in a slide, the outside, punt return, kick return, you're gonna see him on that field. I just think it's right that he has it. He goes, he balls out, and just puts on a show for Buff Nation. And hopefully he can produce the same way he produced at his last school, and we see him in the end zone a lot. And that's my expectations. But I expect LeJohntay West to probably have it.
Thank Coach Dre.
I mean, to either one.
Something happened to Evolve. Go ahead, Jake.
I believe that he
Okay.
has shown that he deserves to wear the number one. But like I said,
Coach Drake going in and out.
Yeah.
wouldn't be.
Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, LeJohntay, I think, is the easy one. Obviously, if it was truly up for grabs, it'd be Travis, right? I mean, that's the guy who deserves number one.
Right.
But of course, he wants his 12. So yeah, I think LeJohntay is the one. Like Rob said, with the punt returning ability, and he's just going to do everything for this team. We talked about it a lot all this offseason. Shedeur recruited him here for a reason,
Right.
And that relationship is really starting to bud in front of our eyes. So yeah, it's got to be LeJohntay.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Rob, you got anything for Jake?
Yeah, so a lot of people, they love to see you on, DNVR, but I just want you to talk about your relationship with you and RK, because RK wasn't the original host, of DNVR Buffs. I just want you to go into tell people, the background and how you guys developed this chemistry and how things are now, and some of the things that you see in the future with you guys.
Yeah, man. I mean, damn, it's tough to say. I met RK 2018. I went out to the Senior Bowl then, and they were then BSN Denver. And RK covered the Buffs for a bit when he started back in like 2015 when they launched the company and stuff. But yeah, he eventually moved on to do Broncos and all that. I met him when he was out there because the Broncos coaching staff was coaching one of the teams for Senior Bowl that season. So introduced myself to him then. Really built a relationship with Andre. Actually, he's the GM at DNVR, so that's who I really built the relationship with over the years after that, and started interning there, and then got in obviously before 2022. But yeah, man, it's you ask about, our chemistry and all that, but honestly, it was just kind of like off rip. When I started there, they were like, you'll have a live show, once a week with him. And obviously the Buffs were bad then. No one was really watching and stuff. But we had a lot of fun. One of the shows that I think is still one of my favorite shows we ever done was we did like a head coach tier list rankings right after they fired Carl Durrell. And man, we just had a blast doing that one. And then obviously the Coach Prime stuff started picking up, and everything just kept rolling, man. So we've spent a lot of time together, on this stuff. We talked a lot about, what we're trying to do coverage wise, planning shows, everything content really. So it's just a relationship it's been really cool for me, because he was someone I listened to and kind of looked up to, a lot, listening to the Broncos pod and stuff like that. So it's just been really cool to see how it's progressed. And I think it's, we're really just getting started, honestly. I want to cover this team for a long time.
Love it.
Coach Dre, you got anything you want to ask, Jake?
No, man, no. I mean, can you elaborate on, like, before Coach Prime got there, the status of the university and, just how you guys have picked up since Coach Prime got there from the previous coaching staff?
I mean, there's really no comparison, man. Like I said, I only had one live show a week back then. I was sitting in this spot right here, recording podcasts by myself for the other 2 days of the week. And so that was back then, man. Shoot, I was just kind of covering the conference, honestly, because the Buffs weren't giving me much to talk about. We had Charlie, of course, who had his moments as a freshman, and then we had a true freshman, Owen McCown. But as soon as we heard the Coach Prime stuff coming together and you start, piecing everything, it's like, well, Shedeur's probably going to be here. Travis is probably going to be here. They're probably going to bring all these players. Recruiting's all going to go up. So it's really no comparison, but things have changed a lot, since Coach Prime got to the University of Colorado, and, how we cover the team, how we approach the coverage, obviously resources and all that stuff. So Coach Prime has blessed us, man, honestly. That's what it is. And I guess, I'm just thankful to have been in the position to be ready and, kind of take advantage of the moment, because I think that's what we nailed.
Now, here's the big question for you, right? When you talk about the season before Coach Prime, just talk about the electricity that just changed in the building, just overall from that 22 season, into going into Coach Prime season, of how everything, the people, the personnel changed throughout the building, interviews, when you're doing press conferences with the coaching staff, just, what did you learn in that process of just the transition from one head coach to the next head coach, with the electricity in the building?
Man, I learned a lot that first year. And it was honestly, I look back at the firing of Coach Durrell, and I think that really helped me, because that kind of put me on level playing field with a lot of the people that I was covering the team with, like Brian and Adam. They've been doing it for 20 some years. A lot of people out there covering the team, went to CU, love CU, way before they even started going there. And, so getting this new coaching staff in, new people in the building, it kind of put us, at least me, on even footing, to get to know some of these people. Talking to the players and the coaches in 2022, man, it was rough. I remember, I can't remember if it was Brady Russell or Casey Roddick, but I was talking to one of the captains after another loss. Obviously, they were probably like 1-6 at this point, something like that. And he literally told me, I don't know what else to say. Like, we just can't keep doing this, and it sucks to keep losing and stuff like that. And then, Coach Prime gets here, and it's just, what he brings to the table in and of itself. It's that confidence, that determination, that drive. That's something that just wasn't in the building before he got there, before this staff got there. And now you see it in all the players. We were talking about Nakai earlier, Hill Green, and he's like the embodiment of that, Micah is the same way. So there's a lot of guys like that they brought in. There's just a different hunger, as Coach would probably say, a different want, a different need, like there was they were going after different types of players. So it was, you can't compare it, honestly.
Okay. What interview you looking forward to this year?
Oh, man.
It don't matter if it's a coach or a player, or both.
I mean, obviously Coach Prime. I think we get him next week.
Okay.
I can tell you who we're getting this week. Actually, we're gonna get Coach Livingston, I think, later in the week. So we get Coach Flea tomorrow and some of the running backs. We'll get Coach Livingston, and I'm assuming probably Shiloh and the safeties on Wednesday. And then Friday we get Shermer and some of the players then too. So I'm interested in getting to know the new guys. I would love to see, guys like Justin Khalil on the podium, speaking for the team a lot more. I think that would be really good for the team. Cam's always a great one. He's one of my favorites, of course. So man, there's so many. I mean, just going back to see guys like Cam, Shedeur, but also getting to meet the new guys, getting to talk to Micah again, and just like getting an insight to his drive and motivation too. The whole team, man, it's a very special team. You talk to any one of these guys and you get that feeling.
Yeah, it is. So
Jake,
go ahead, Rob.
I was going to say, now, Jake, going into that first interview press conference with Coach Prime, how was it?
Man, it was like I said earlier, kind of comparing between 22 and 23. Like the most noticeable thing is that you could just tell like he was there, right? And we couldn't see him. Just the media attention, the way that people were buzzing, talking about everything. He literally just brought a different energy. So that first time, I think it was in the Touchdown Club. It was like his introductory press conference. It's the one in the beginning of Well Off. He's pointing at Bucky. That's my son. And it was just, man, just hearing him speak and, seeing this legend, right in front of you, just like he's really here and he's going to do what he sets out to do and fix this football program. It was motivating. It was inspiring. It was in all those kinds of emotions, man. So it took a while, to kind of get used to him a bit being my coach, but I think we got there before the season last year and, we're always working through it. So.
All right. Check this out. When you look at the offensive line, what's your expectation this year, Jake?
Much improved. I think that there's some nastiness on this offensive line. And the thing I think that struck me the most, really, like when you talk to Justin and Khalil, especially, they look back on last season, they talk about it like they were on the team. Say we aren't going to be like we were last year. That's how they say it. They took it personally, even though they weren't on the team. So I think there's a message that's going to be sent. You talk about guys like Tyler Brown. I mean, who's more motivated than him this season to go out there and, put some people in the dirt. So I think that, Jordan Seaton's motivated the same way, proven that he's the 5-star caliber player that we know he is, but also proven that he made the right decision to come to Colorado and play with these guys, protect Shedeur. So I'm telling you, it's a different energy with that offensive line. I mean, I know you guys mentioned it for camp battles and stuff. It's going to be intriguing to watch out, see what unfolds, but I'm honestly not too worried about it.
Okay. All right. I got one more question. Now, send it over to Rob. The defensive line. I think the defense is going to be the shocker for everybody. I think by the end of the season, they should be up there ranked higher on the defensive side at the end of the season on that defense, especially that defensive front. They got the depth this year. I'm looking at Big Barnes, and like you said, the edge rushers. BJ Green, he just might be the defensive player of the year in the Big 12 if you don't watch out. I'm serious. He hungry. He done heard that what everybody been saying about him. This dude coming in with a vengeance this year. What you think about the defensive side, the defensive front seven?
Kind of the same thing, man. I mean, these guys are, coming in hungry. Guys like Arden Walker and Tajay McCoy too. I already mentioned them, but the reason I bring them up, Amari McNeil, you could throw in there too, is I think that it's kind of the same thing with the offensive line. I think they took last year personally, Shane Cokes as well. And they're, going out to reset the narrative, I think, this season. Stopping the run was an issue last year. Getting after the passer was an issue. So I think it's very similar to the offensive line where there's a certain different kind of hunger and, desire for these guys to go out and perform. I think they're obviously bigger. I think that's another thing too on the offensive line. You mentioned Anquin Barnes, Torian Carter, and they got some vets up there too. BJ Green, Deion Hayes. Yeah. I mean, all these guys, man. They're massive and they're driven, and you just talk to them, and that kind of just comes through in everything that they say. So I'm expecting, kind of what you said. I go back to what Neely told me a lot during spring football, and that's, man, this defensive front was just getting after it. They were kind of, just creating havoc out there. And I don't think it's because the offensive line was bad or, Shedeur was off or anything. I just think that we've got some actual ballers on that D line now that can create some havoc.
Now, speaking of Neely, having two great personalities with Neely and RK, how was it like working with Neely? And I don't want you guys to tell you what you guys got planned for the season, but what has been your favorite memory of so far with working with those two guys together, creating podcast episodes?
Oh man, it's a shame I've got to say it, but it's honestly all the off-camera time. Like, you guys think we have fun on the camera, off the camera, it's a different ball game. The conversations we have, talking about real things, talking about life with each other, but then also just joking around. Neely, he loves video games too, so I talk to him. I send him GTA reels all the time and stuff. So that's my brother, man. It's a lot of fun, getting to work with those guys and having two big personalities like that. How you put that question, like, it kind of makes my job easy. I just got to tee him up and I can let him riff. And sometimes I got to do my thing and step in there and like get us the next thing. But that's the best part about working with them, is they make it all so easy. There's a lot of times that we get ready to do a show and it's we have little conversations about what we're going to do, and then we just kind of go off. Everyone has so much to say, such great insight. So it's a privilege to be able to work with two guys like that, because they make my job so much easier.
All right, that's good. All right, guys, let's pause for a few minutes. Jake, this is a part of our show. We do a little rapid fire. We hadn't did that in about 3 weeks. So I grabbed some questions from the old show. Rod and Coach Dre already answered some, but we're gonna give them a chance to answer again, because I just want to see what they're gonna say. That might be gonna change their mind. All right, we're gonna start with Rod. Hot Rod. You start us off with this question. We're gonna go around to Jake, then end it up with Coach Dre. All right, here we go. The best quarterback in college football between these two. No right or wrong answer, Jake. Mike Vick, Cam Newton, Vince Young.
I'm going Mike Vick. Easy. I'm going Mike Vick.
Jake.
I'm between Vince Young and Cam Newton, honestly. And I think I got to go with Cam. He was just such a dominating force at Auburn, man. So many of those highlights just stuck in my head. I mean, shout out to Vic too, but Cam was just, I think, at a different level. I think about that comeback in the Iron Bowl. I think about the run that he had against on the LSU on the read option, where guys are just tripping him up, and he just looks way bigger than everyone and way faster than everyone. He was different.
Coach Dre.
Hey, I mean, you got to go with the guy that was here in Gainesville for a little while. You got to go with Cam, because, like you said, what he did in that run of a year with what he had on his shoulders, with what he had on his shoulders, going through them trying to take it away from him, and the kid still persevered, won the Heisman, got his team to a national championship. To come through on the other end with everything he dealt with and still be that guy, you got to go with Cam Newton. No disrespect to Vic, because I think if there's no Vic, there's no Cam Newton, and there's no Vince Young. But you got to go with Cam.
Yeah, I agree, Cam Newton. All right, Rod, here we go. Ready? The best running back, Miami Hurricane. Clinton Portis, Frank Gore.
I'm going Clinton Portis on this one.
What?
I'm going Clinton Portis. I love Frank Gore, what he did, but I'm gonna go with Clinton Portis on this one.
Okay. All right. What you got, Jake?
Look, man, Gore was a monster. I think he was very underrated in his NFL career
He
too.
was.
But Clinton Portis was my guy, man. Coming up as a Broncos fan, watching him in like 03, 04, watching him run all over the Chiefs, man. I love that guy. And when they traded him away, even if it was for Champ, I was hurt, man. I was a little 12-year-old, 11-year-old. I was bummed that they traded away Clinton Portis. That was my dude.
Wow. I already know his answer. I don't even know why. Go ahead, Coach Dre.
Hey man, again, I'm gonna tell y'all. Hey man, I can't go out there if I don't say Clinton Portis, man. He from the city. Hey man, but hey,
They
he's
are
such
right
a
about the state of Florida.
great human being. No, B. Watts. He from my city. He from Gainesville.
Oh,
I
okay.
played
I thought
high
you,
school
okay, the city.
against Clinton
Okay, I
Portis.
got you. I go with you
Yeah,
on
he
that. I
from
go
my
with you on
city.
that.
When I say when I say I can't go out east, I can't go out East Gainesville if I don't say Clinton Portis. No, I ain't just talking about the state of Florida. I'm talking about my own city. He played. I played high school against Clinton Portis. So yeah,
Okay.
it's Clinton Portis for me all
All
day,
right, we're
every
gonna stay
day.
right there in the
Yeah.
state of Florida for the next two questions. All right, here we go. Start it off, Coach Dre, then Jake, then Rob. The best quarterback under Steve Spurrier, Rex Grossman or Danny Wolf?
Mm.
Danny Wolford.
What?
Danny Wolford. Yeah, Danny
I was gonna
Okay,
say
Wolford.
West Walker, but I like Danny Wolford though. Yeah, in
I
that
like him,
situation.
but he wasn't better than Rex
Danny
Grossman.
Wolford.
Go
Yeah, he
ahead,
was.
go ahead, Jake.
Oh man, I think I got to go Danny Warfel as well. I don't know if I'm just holding Rex's NFL career against him, but
No, don't do that. I said
definitely.
college.
What Rex did it? What he did in college, B? He ain't win no national
Yep,
championship and no
yep.
Heisman.
I just think he
He
was a
didn't
better
win no.
quarterback. Danny Wolf wasn't that good either. He just had a lot more talent.
Hey, listen. I didn't listen. I don't think neither one of them was that great. Now I'm not saying that.
I know what
If
they
if
wasn't that,
you
I'm
if
just saying which one was better in college up under
yeah,
Steve Spurrier.
Danny Wolford, he had more yards and everything. I mean, he had the better receivers too, but Danny
Yeah.
Wolford.
Okay.
You got
All
to throw
right.
it to somebody though.
Huh?
You got to throw it to somebody though.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I tell you what, Rod, the best coach in the state of Florida in college, Steve Spurrier, Bobby Bowden.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Come on with it. Come back to them games.
I'm going Bobby on this one. I like Steve a lot, but I'm going Bobby Baldwin on this one. I'm gonna go Florida State Bobby Baldwin on this one. That's a tough
Uh,
one.
ooh, Jake.
Oh man, that's a tough one. A lot of respect for the old ball coach, but I think I got to go with Bobby Bowden as well. I think that a lot of his influences, especially Coach Prime, you know what I mean, speak for themselves, or the people
All
he's
right.
influenced.
What you think, Dre?
Yeah, I mean it's Bobby Bowden, and it's because of what Jake just said. If you go back and you watch Bobby Bowden and you watch how his players talk about him, that's the way the players that Prime coach talk about him. And Coach Mickey Andrews, a lot of what Coach Prime is because of Bobby Bowden. Bobby Bowden is a player's coach. He loved those young men. He loved them like they was his sons. And that's no knock on Steve Spurrier. I think he's a good coach. But all around ball coach is Bobby Bowden.
Well, I'm going Steve Spurrier all day. All day. All day. All right. Let's talk about a little boxing. All right. Raw, you take Floyd Mayweather at his prime. Who's a better boxer? Him or Terrence Bud Crawford in his prime?
I mean, you got to go with Floyd. He undefeated, but Terrence Crawford, Bud Crawford, that's my guy, man. You got to go Floyd. I mean, he undefeated. Ain't nobody beat him. I'm
What you
going
think?
Bud. Anybody else, I'm taking Bud.
I got to go with the man that hasn't
Uh,
lost as well, bro. I
I,
got to take Floyd.
Okay.
I mean, it's Floyd. It's Floyd. It's not, but it's not like unanimous Floyd, but it's Floyd because I just
That
Bud
Bud Crawford boy.
Bud a different kind of Bud Crawford a different kind of animal, but right, you know you can't disrespect Floyd Mayweather and what he's done for the sport of boxing, so you got to go with Floyd.
Okay. All right, Jake. I think I'm finna come to your wheelhouse. NASCAR race. I know Coach Dre he probably go blank on this one. All right. NASCAR race. Jimmy Johnson or Jeff Gordon. Best car race out there between those two.
Oh man. All right. So those were my guys coming up. But Jeff Gordon was always number one for me. So much respect to Jimmy, all the championships he won, all that. But Jeff Gordon was he took it straight to Dale Earnhardt. He was
Yeah.
about that action.
What you
Yeah,
got, Rob?
man. He's Jeff Gordon for me. I mean, that's who you watch, man.
Coach Dre?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's Jeff Gordon because of what he did for the sport. Jimmy Johnson has all the championships, but
Yeah.
when you talk about NASCAR, it's two names that come up: Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Sr. So for me, it's Jimmy.
All
I
right.
mean,
I
it's
go to
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon. I agree. I agree. Rod, talk to him on this. Who was the best Denver Bronco coach? Dan Reeves or Mike Shanahan?
Mike Shanahan.
Explain.
I mean, the presence that he brought to the city of Denver, the championships that he led them on, just the type of players they had in Denver, it was unmatched to me. It was just unmatched. So I gotta go with Mike Shanahan.
All right. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, it's got to be Mike Shanahan, man. His influence on the league. I mean, there's so many teams running his offense still. His blocking scheme. Now maybe it's Alex Gibbs' blocking scheme, but the way that Mike Shanahan ran that ship for a good long time. I mean, that was a lot of my childhood, and they won a lot of games. He made it fun to be a Broncos fan back then. So all respect to Dan Reeves, but Shanahan got it done. He won some chips.
Coach Dre?
He said he ended it with the best thing. He won the chips. And Dan Reeves is a great ball coach, and no doubt about it. But Shanahan won the chips, and you see his offense still being used heavily in the NFL today. And and a lot of coaches from his coaching tree got head coaching jobs and was successful. So I will go with Shanahan.
All right. All right. Let's get back into Colorado. Appreciate that, John. All right. Jake, when we look at Shedeur, the quarterback, what's your expectation for him this year? Would he win the Heisman? Would he throw for 4,000 yards? Would he just be average quarterback? Will he throw a lot of interception or what? Talk to him what you think. How Shedeur gonna have? What kind of season he gonna have this year?
He's going to have a record-setting year for the University of Colorado. I expect him to, top all the numbers that he did last year. I expect him to be healthier, not get sacked 60 times or whatever it was. He never really puts the ball in harm's way, and I think that's one of his greatest attributes. Is he's really good with the mental side of football, to always find the open guy and then always protect the football. And I got in trouble for saying it earlier in the offseason, but I think he could have like a Joe Burrow type explosion, honestly, this senior year. Like, I think we could see something like over 4,000 yards easily. I think we could see 40 plus touchdown passes. I think, depending on how the first 3 weeks go, I mean, those might be some of the weakest secondaries you play against. Who's to say that he couldn't have, 12, 15 touchdowns those first 3 weeks?
Rob?
I just want Shador to have a healthy, a healthy,
Yeah.
a healthy season. Because as long as two is healthy, we got a chance to win. If he ain't healthy, we
Right.
can't run it that line. But no, as long as two is healthy, man, I love our chances to be in every football game. And like I said, I'll take it week by week. The first game of the season, North Dakota State, right? Let's go out and get the W. Shador have an amazing day, over 300 yards of passing, getting everybody involved. But I just expect Shedeur Sanders to have an amazing season, but just stay healthy. That's the key right now.
Coach Dre?
Jake hit it on the head. You go back and look at his numbers at Jackson State. When he's up, when you let him get upright, when you keep him upright, he can throw for
Right.
over 4,000 yards. He was right close at it, almost 40 touchdowns. So I feel like we over 4,000 yards, over 40 touchdowns, and I expect Shedeur Sanders to be standing in New York, raising the Heisman Trophy at the end of the season. That's just how I feel about him. Uh, I think he's one of the smartest quarterbacks we've seen in a long time. He's one of the most prepared prepared guys you've ever seen. Even on the break, even you hear a lot of people talk about, oh, why he do this and why he doing that, and he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. But every time you see that kid in between what he has going on, he's working, he's working, he's working, he's working. So I expect nothing but greatness, legendary as he probably would put it. But that's what I expect from Shedeur Sanders this year. Heisman Trophy like numbers.
Okay. Coach Dre, tell me this. I can't fathom this at all. We got the best quarterback in the Big 12 conference, Rob. Jake. We got the number one, the best athlete in Travis Hunter. Both of them on the same team. Tell me why the day sales on 247, whoever got Colorado ranked number 11 in the Big 12. Even Vegas saying they won't win but 5 games. We don't improve the line of scrimmage. We don't add depth to the line of scrimmage. We don't beef up the defensive line. We got better coaching this year. Tell me why they just ranked number 11 in the Big 12. I don't want to hear this going on last year stuff. I don't want to hear that.
I
Tell
don't.
me why.
I
Tell me
mean,
why, Coach Dre.
yeah, we ain't gonna go off of last year. What we gonna go off is this ain't what people want. I told you once before, they scared. So when I'm scared, I'm gonna put you down lower because I don't want this to happen. I can't. This just can't happen. Prime can't do what these people think he gonna do, because if he does that, it changed the landscape of college football, and that ain't what they really want. So it's not really that they don't believe; it's just the fear. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like you say, but most people, unbeknownst to what you're saying, oh well, he's doing it through the transfer portal. He's not doing it the conventional way or doing it the way that everybody else is doing it. He's doing it his way. And all I ask people to do is go look at his track record. Go look at what he did. Go look at what he did at Jackson. That was the same. Just go back again. It's on YouTube, guys. His first couple of seasons at Jackson, it's on YouTube. You can go watch it and watch the same problems that Colorado had. They had offensive line, and watch when he got him an offensive line, and they could keep Shedeur upright. He did what he was supposed to do. So it's just fear, BWatts. It's just blatant fear, because this is not what we want. And this because it changed the way college football is ran if Prime succeeds his way.
Go ahead, Jake. I'm gonna finish it.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of that. It's fear, it's ignorance, it's disrespect, it's whatever you want to call it. I think a lot of it too, we just spent time talking about Shedeur. I think people are sleeping on what Shedeur is capable of, especially in the national ranks. I think that they saw last season, and they ran with a lot of the negatives, that he holds the ball too long, and can he stay upright? Can he stop taking so many sacks? When the reality is, a lot of that was to do with the offensive line, of course, but it's what he told us at the Super Bowl too. It was the way the offense was designed, with all these option routes and everything. He was just unsure at times, and that caused that little half second to a second of hesitation that made him hold onto the ball, or take a sack, whatever it is. So I don't think people around the country are ready for what Shedeur's about to do, and that's going to be the biggest reason why this team surprises so many of them, is because he is the best quarterback in the country. He's going to go out there and ball out, and when you factor in someone like Travis Hunter and all the improvements all over the ball, coaching staff wise, everything, the team unity, all of that, I think that's all being discounted, and they just want to see it fail. I think that's why they voted them that low.
That's why they want to see this fail. They don't want to see Prime uplift and elevate everybody in Buff Nation. They see Buff Nation and the noise and the headlines that they're making. Every time a storyline comes out, understand that they're always clipping something from somebody out of Buff Nation that's creating content. This is how you slow down the train. We'll just put them at the bottom because if we put them at the top, there's more noise being made, and we're trying to control the narrative. And what they don't understand is Prime is going to control the narrative on how he wants these things to happen, how he wants them to come out. And because it's not orthodox of how they are used to, and they always used to having somebody in the building that can give them information, it's hurting them because now the people that has the information is the Buckies, the Darius, the Neelys, DNVR. So now you can't get access to the information. They're trying to find a way. Who can we get close to that can get us the access that we need to write stories? And that's why the media is so upset and why they rank Colorado so low is because they don't want to see everybody get elevated to a higher level. You can't stop what's coming. That's
Right.
just the truth of what's going to happen. So as much as we keep creating content and doing it the right way, we're going to elevate it naturally. This team is going to elevate. We're going to get more and more players. Better talent's going to come. There's want to be here because they're going to see the love that Buff Nation is going to bring to them. They're going to see the buzz, the energy, and it ain't nothing that you can do to stop it. So those are the things that's really going on. Is when you take out the context of football, they're trying to stop everything that comes with Coach Prime, and those are the parts that people miss. It's not. It's yes, they're going to create these headlines, but they see the evolution of this brand that's being built by Buff Nation and how this thing is elevating to a different level, and that's what they're trying to stop.
Okay. Good take, fella. We got
Here,
15 more minutes. Go ahead, Coach Dre.
here's the thing: if Khalil Benson goes to Georgia, uh, any other school that's a top-notch program, oh, it's an upgrade. So why isn't it an upgrade when he came to Colorado? Kid only gave up one sack. Tyler Johnson only gave up one sack. He came to Colorado. If he went to Georgia or somewhere else, it'd have been an upgrade. But so why isn't it an upgrade for Colorado? They answer their own questions because they don't want this to happen. They don't want this to happen. They want us to be what they want us to be, or what they want Colorado and Coach Prime to be what they want him to be, and he's not gonna let you put him in a box.
I agree with that. All right, let's talk about Travis. Is he a better defensive back or a better wide receiver? Coach Prime said if he had his way, he'll be a wide receiver going into the NFL. Jake, what's your take on Travis and the position that he's playing?
Man, I keep going back to the Celebration Bowl in 2022, and ever since then, his talent at wide receiver is very, very special. Obviously, what he does at cornerback is too, but I think he has the ability to be one of, if not the best wide receivers in the NFL if he wanted to do that. And I think that he's going to be one of the reasons why Colorado's offense is so high profile and able to score a lot this year is because you can't guard that guy, especially, when he gets in the open field. So for me, it's wide receiver. And the money's there in the NFL now too. Maybe 5-10 years ago, cornerbacks were getting paid more, but now we've seen wide receivers catch up to them and even surpass them. So I think that if I was Travis, that's what I would do.
I just think it's a big problem for the NFL to figure it out on their end. What I would say is wide receiver will be the easiest answer because it just looks so natural and it's so effortless that you can you can give them the ball at any part on the field, whether it's a bomb, whether it's double coverage, whether a single coverage, zone, man, it don't matter. You find 12 because you know what's gonna happen. If you throw something to them, it's a 70-30. It ain't no 50-50, it's a 70-30. Travis Hunter's gonna make a play out of it.
Right.
So wide receiver, it just looks too easy. It's like it's man versus kids out there when you see him on the field.
I think he's gonna change the NFL landscape. I think Jake hit it on the head. DBs were making more money than receivers, but now receivers are probably have caught up or making a little more. So I think when he gets and shows what he can do, Travis Hunter is going to be able to demand the kind of money that the big time money that you because I can do both. But like you say, if you made me pick, I would pick wide receiver because I think he's unguardable. Once his route running has got 10 times better since he's got to college. He has great hands, and his quickness is from this that real quick move that he is unstoppable. So, but I think he's gonna be one of one. I just seen the CU auntie say, I think he's gonna be one of one. He's gonna be a kid that guy that you can actually say, I'm an athlete. I have to be paid for both. I have to be paid for both because I can do both. And I think if somebody in the NFL gonna give him a chance to do both, just like they did Coach Prime. So he's one of one. But if you made me pick, I would pick receiver.
Hey, let's stay right there in the wide receiver room. Exclude Travis. Jay, who's the best wide receiver on the team out of all the videos that you done seen, all the studying you done did? Who you think the best wide receiver on the team?
Oh man, it's tough to pick against LeJohntay right now, but I think when you look at the potential of Amari Miller, he's someone that, to me, immediately when we saw him at Colorado last offseason, it was like, this guy is different. So I would say those two, right now, probably LeJohntay. Coach Prime brought up at the Big 12 Media Day press conference that he thinks he has 4 first-rounders. He mentioned BJ in there. We know Travis and Shedeur in that conversation. I think LeJohntay was the other player he was talking about.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I think LeJohntay is an easy pick, but I'm gonna go with Mr. Consistent, Will Shepherd. I think a lot of people, he's a forgotten man in the room. And because you see him at Vanderbilt and you didn't really see him with a quality quarterback and the route running of their offense, something that he didn't get to showcase was his route running because they were only running certain routes for him. I just look at him as having a breakout season in Colorado and showing people, but he's Mr. Consistent hands, and he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. But I got him, Will Shepard, and Lil Jonte, the top 2 wide receivers outside of Travis.
Good take.
That receiver room is loaded. We going by what we saw in the spring, we'd have to go with LeJohntay or Marion. But like Rob said, Will Shepherd is SEC tested against some of the best, and he put up great numbers. He runs great routes, strong hands. So we're in a heck of a position, and I think people try to shoot me down when I say I think we got the best receivers in the country. I'm not lying. I think we have the best
Well, I
receiver
agree with
room
that.
in the country. And then if you put them young boys out there, the way Cam McHale and Draylon have put in work, when you talk about Caleb and you talk about Baby T.O., and nobody better not go to sleep and think that Timmons ain't ready. Nobody better not go to sleep and think Timmons ain't ready. So I just feel good about that receiver room. I think they have a great coach in Coach Phillips. And I always tell people, as long as you in that 8-man rotation, you in a good spot at any university if you in that 8-man rotation at receiver.
Okay. Rob, we never touched on this. Coach Prime promoted Damian Lewis, the defensive line coach.
Yes, sir.
How you think?
Man, him and Coach Sapp, man, it's gonna be a night and day difference with this defensive line. The teaching is the part that you gonna love the most. That I think people they don't understand until they see it on film. The relationships of what they're going to do with these players and build with these players chemistry wise are some of the things that you're going to see. The way these players are going to talk about these coaches this year, you're going to see a different standard about them and how the relationships were built and how they run through a brick wall for some of these coaches out there because these coaches understand what they're fighting for, where they're trying to get to. So Damian Lewis was an excellent hire for the University of Colorado on his defensive line coach. I'm glad that they were finally able to announce it. But he's going he's gonna have the boys ready, them young men ready. So I can't wait to see what this D line does.
I mean, first off, let's congratulate Coach Lewis for being patient and waiting for the announcement to come out. I think people were trying to get folks to come out and say it, and he never said it. They never said it until they got it confirmed. Uh, like Rob said, when you talk about him and Coach Sapp, you talking about NFL experience, round draft pick, Hall of Famer. And again, kids these days, they like visual. They like to see it. So when Sapp or Coach Lewis, they telling you about the 3 and the 1 technique, and then I can go take you in the room and say, look at me. Look at me. Look at my hand work. Look at look at how hard I worked, and look how I pushed, and this, that, and the other. Like Coach Sapp said today in the well off video, I'm the quarterback killer. And that's what
Right.
he's trying to teach these young men to go do. And so I'm very happy for these young men. Damian Lewis played on arguably probably the best team in Miami history. So he's been coaching. So to be up here and to coach with this great defensive line, it makes us feel good about where our defensive line is headed. So I'm very excited to see what the defensive line can do, and very excited for him.
What you think, Jake?
Yeah, to go off both of them, Rob and Dre, what they said. I mean, I think that you talk about the recruiting, and kids want to be recruited by guys who have been there, who have done that. And what better duo than Coach Lewis and Coach Sapp? And I think that we haven't even started to really see the dividends from that. I think that they're going to really recruit the trenches on the defensive side really hard in the near future. And I think that they're going to go for some of the best defensive linemen in the country. And it's only a matter of time before they start coming to Colorado. Like the skill players are to play for Coach Prime. These trench guys are going to want to come play for Coach Lewis and Coach Sapp. Big congrats to Coach Lewis for, getting the gig and all that. It was a weird kind of situation with Sal and his health that kind of held everything up.
Right.
So, it did take a while for that info to come out, but everyone kind of knew, obviously, what the deal was going on there. But you could see it, in the team meeting, the video that came out on Well Off today. That guy's intense, man. That's what they need on the defensive line. So he's going to bring, part of that attitude when we were talking about the defensive line earlier. I think that all kind of starts with Coach Sapp and Coach Lewis.
Okay. Hey, just want to tell everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. If you don't mind, hit the like button on RobDaManMedia channel, and also Sports Talk with BWatts channel. Our special guest tonight is Jake of DNVR. We want to thank him for being part of the show. We got about 10 more minutes. If there are questions that y'all want us to ask him, put it down in the chat, and we will get it out there for you. Y'all are family. Y'all part of the show. We want to include you. First of all, we want to say a special thanks to Jake. Didn't have to do it. Didn't have to answer my invitation, but he did. Appreciate it. Gonna be calling you again. I want both of y'all, like I told RK. I think he hit me up and said, "Hey," I said, "Nah, this Jake time. I'm gonna try to get y'all. I'm gonna try to get y'all together next time, sometime in the middle of the season." But Michael Jackson got a song out, Coach Dre, that says, "Doesn't matter if you're black or white, you can get along if you do it in a positive way." But check this out.
I mean,
Go ahead.
no, I mean that's what it's all about. Like you said, we appreciate Jake coming on here, and that's all. That's all I'm gonna always push. Y'all see, I got on the SOB shirt, but as I always told you, this year it's about SOP. It's about standing on purpose, and my purpose is to bring people together. You can bring people together to do positive things. There's so much negative in the world, so much wrong stuff going on in the world. If we can bring a smile to your face, if we can bless your evening, then that's what we're trying to do. And just to show that we can get on here as no color, no anything. To have Jake on here is a blessing, and we just appreciate you, Jake. We appreciate you coming on to our platform. Again, I always give BWatts his flowers because he could have chose anybody. He could have chose anybody but to choose me and my guy, Rob the Man. And that's what we tell y'all when I tell y'all about patience, because at the end of the day, I'm just a little old coach from Gainesville, Florida, trying to, you know what I'm saying, doing what I'm supposed to do. My purpose is to bless people, to bless young men. That's what I do. We start tomorrow. I'm excited. Probably can't hardly sleep tonight because we start practice just like everybody else. So it's a beautiful thing to get on here and for us to be able to show that we can push this positive movement, because that's what we need.
All right. All
As
right.
always,
I appreciate it.
I was gonna say, as always, man, appreciate Jay for coming on. The blessings that you bless us with tonight with your insight, and just blessings to DNVR Buffs, and what you guys are doing over there. You guys are doing a tremendous job, keeping this thing going, keeping this thing moving. So we all play a part. Just as well as you guys, but we all want to show gratitude, for what you guys do too, also.
All right. Jake,
Man,
before we end the show in about 10 more minutes, once again, tell us about the golf tournament and the trip to Nebraska.
yeah, man. Golf tournament, August 16th, last one of the summer. Go check it out on thednvr.com/events. And then our trip at truefantravel.com/trips. Heading down to Nebraska. First trip last year was TCU. So first trip magic. We're going to be in for a hell of a game for that Nebraska game and probably a big win. So can't wait. But got to say thanks to you guys too, though, man. I know it took me a little longer to get on here probably than you would have wanted, but the lines of communication are here now. We're as you said, let's do this, man. I'm ready. Hit me up.
Okay.
I'll hop on whenever. But shout out to Dre. Your words of motivation, man. I read them every morning. I love that group chat that we're all in, and much respect to BWatts and Rob too for what you guys are doing. I mean, just hit me up, man. I'm here for y'all too. So just that part about community as well, man. That's what DNVR was founded off of. It was about community. It was about bringing Denver sports fans closer together, and now. Because of Coach Prime, we've been able to really expand our reach, obviously, to across the nation. So it's been, not going to lie, a little overwhelming at times, but it's been really cool, man, to meet so many new people all over the country, so many different backgrounds. And I can't wait to, meet a bunch more of you guys this season, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Got a question right here from TG. Jay, I guess it's on you. Will you be at the first practice tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll be there tomorrow morning. It's we're back, man. We're fully back. So we'll be doing shows a little bit later, on those days that we're up there. We're still kind of figuring out the schedule right now. I'll probably tweet it out on the Buffs account tomorrow. So you'll know what's going on there. But yeah, we'll be at camp. Like I said, I think it's Coach Flea and players. So we'll have press conferences, all that stuff ready tomorrow.
All right. Tell Big Neely we asked about it.
I got you, man. I got
All
you. I'll
right.
see you tomorrow too.
All right. Check this out, guys. We finna go around the horn. 2 more questions, and we go in. All right. When we look at Shiloh this year, he's flying up under the radar. To me personally, I think he's one of the best safety. I know he's one of the hardest hitting safety in college football. Where do you think, what would he have to do to get drafted? Maybe no later than the third round this year. Rob.
Health, and just going out there and continue to make plays. This draft can, it's a veteran defense that we're going to have for veteran players. It's going to be out there playing with them. Just him staying healthy, him out there making plays. I think that just sets the tone right there. If Shiloh can get 3 to 4 interceptions, that'd be a big key to show that his ball hawking skills. And all the defense he's been playing more to the line. So it's going to be interesting to see how they use him this year. Whether he's a deep safety or if he's on the line of scrimmage and how they utilize him with Robert Livingston being in the new defense. That's still a question mark of how are they going to utilize him this year for him to help him being drafted. So I expect him to move around all over the field based upon what I've seen from Robert Livingston's safeties with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, man. I mean, his ability to make plays is going to be huge. He talked about that, I think, at media days, and he was really close with Coach Kelly, last year. And he, talked a lot about how Coach Kelly really elevated his game. And I think that there's another level with Coach Livingston, what he was able to do in the NFL and developing guys that were later draft picks. Specifically for Shiloh's game, I think he needs to be better, playing middle of the field. And he's talked about that too. I think we're going to see a lot more of that from him, that blocking ability, just ability and coverage to make plays and show off his instincts and mind for the game. I think that, obviously with the physicality and all that, it's already there. And we saw with the turnovers last year. So it's just about, doing that same stuff and building on it more, just expanding that repertoire.
Coach Dre?
I mean, Shiloh is an NFL safety. I think people get so caught up in the coverage But Shiloh is a Brian Dawkins type of safety, hard hitting, come down in the box, type of safety. I think he was a day one. I thought he was a first or third rounder before the season. If he has a season like he had last year, we're talking about late first, early second for me. I just believe he's that good of a talent. He's gonna run a good. He's gonna run a good speed. He has great instincts. And I think Livingston is one of the main reasons why Shiloh will have a great season. I think he's gonna play to the strengths of all those guys, but I think Shiloh is the leader, and that's what Coach Livingston has been coaching safeties and the defensive backs, and I think that's why Shiloh will benefit the most from Coach Livingston, just like he did from Coach Kelly. So Coach Kelly took him to one level, and I think Coach Livingston will take him to the next. So I believe that he'll have a great season.
All right, last question, guys. Starting with you, Jake. Then we'll go to Rob. Then we'll go to Coach Dre. All right, we're gonna get Juju and win.
I feel great about it. I think that what Buff Nation and everyone did around that official visit weekend kind of pushed it over the edge. I think that you follow the breadcrumbs and everything. There's a lot of relationships that go back to CU, and that's one thing I've learned throughout this whole thing is it kind of runs deep. His connections to CU. This isn't like just some random guy that Coach Prime decided, oh, look, I just want to get this 5-star in here, replace Shedeur and all that, and like. No, there's a lot of relationships that go deep with these guys. So I do think they ultimately end up getting them. When? I truly don't know. Evan Haynes commits on the 6th, and then Juju's season starts on the 16th of August. So if I had to guess, I'd say sometime between the 6th and the 16th.
Gotcha. Rob?
I mean, Jake hit it right there in the head. I predict it to be between the 6th and the 16th. Also, the connections with Juju is it goes through the roof. But once he commits and does his thing, order to come out. All I can say is, just keep supporting, but you can start to see how other schools are moving on and starting to recruit other quarterbacks. So if you've been paying attention to the other schools that's in the recruiting race with us, you're starting to see them go after different quarterbacks, which is kind of, to tell to a sign the writing's on the wall. But until he officially comes out to say something, you just gotta keep doing what we doing, and that's recruiting.
I mean, good things come to those who wait. So let's just be patient. Let's see what Like I say, these kids, they got everybody pulling at them. And a kid like Juju, who's a 5-star, people throwing money at him, throwing cars. They're doing all kind of stuff to try to deter him. And so let's just get it. I mean, y'all, we did a heck of a job on his official visit. And I think we got a good shot of landing him, but let's just be patient and give that kid a chance. This is one of the biggest decisions. This right here is the biggest decision that he's gonna make right now in his life. So I've been through this process, so I don't like to push kids. I just want kids to do what's best for them, whatever best for them and their families. And I think, but I think we've shown that we want him, and that this is maybe the best place for him to grow in nutrients. Because y'all gotta also remember he's gonna be a younger kid because he's supposed to be class of 26. He reclassified to be class of 25, so he's gonna be a lot younger. And I think that plays a major factor for us because I think we have the stuff that you need for him to grow. So I feel good about it. But we're gonna be patient and let him make the best decision for him and his family.
All right, folks. Hey, that's the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for putting your comments down in the comment section. And don't forget, uh, our special guest is Jake. Hit that like button, and it'll let him know that how much we appreciate him. He didn't have to do it, but we're glad that he did. So, Jake, we'll get the floor to you, and we'll go around the horn to end.
Yeah, man. Again, just thank you guys for inviting me on. Let's do it again, man. It was fun. Good conversation. just respect to you guys for what you're doing. I know the CU content, creator space is it's very competitive, obviously, but you guys have done enough to stand above the rest. So credit to you guys. Thanks for inviting me on, and let's do it again.
Appreciate that, Rob.
I can't let you get out here, Jake, if I didn't ask you this question. What game are you looking forward to this season the most and traveling to? So it's a two-part question. What game are you looking forward the most, and what game are you looking forward to traveling to go watch the Bucks play?
Game I'm looking forward to the most, honestly, is probably Nebraska or K-State. K-State just because it's a home game, obviously with Dylan and everything, but I think it's going to be a true measuring stick, really. Go out there, beat K-State, prove that you're one of the best in the Big 12. Trip-wise, it's not really a trip, I guess, because it's only an hour away, but I'm like a lot of y'all. I can't wait for the Fort Collins trip to go up to CSU to take over that stadium, to put an exclamation mark on what happened last year and all the stuff. So that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Appreciate it. As always, appreciate you having on. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to all the channels, DNVR, BWatts, RobDaManMedia. We appreciate you guys for, y'all could be doing anything else on this Sunday. You y'all come in here to stop in to watch us here. So we always want to make sure that goes to appreciate and goes a long way. As always, we want to extend the love to any and everybody. And we just appreciate you, Jake, for sending the olive branch to allow us to do this on this Sunday.
All right, I'm gonna go before Coach Dre close it out. Hey, once again, man, appreciate you, Jake. Appreciate everybody who took out the time to tune in. Always remember, if you be good to God, I'm telling you, God will be good to you. And always remember, share whatever you have with your sisters and your brothers. You always have more than enough to wish to share. Coach Drake, end the show for us tonight, sir.
Hey, as always, man, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate everybody coming in. You, like Rob said, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to come in with us. Always remember that, man. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. Don't look back, because ain't nothing in the past. Everything is in front of you that you need and that you want. And as I always tell you, if you send no ships out, no ships will come in. And if there's no contest, nobody can win. Games can be won if they've been prayed. I am your man, Coach Dre. That is my guy, Jake. That's my brother, BWatts. And that's my guy, RobDaManMedia. We love you. We out. We'll see y'all next Sunday.
Jake, give our best to RK and your staff, and tell Uncle Neely we asked about him, bro.
Yes, sir. Will do. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, y'all have a good night. Raw, hit me up.